Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtatara Shata Shishimat His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna Glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga All glories to Srila Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. Matirmai nibadeyam navipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi smritishamad anugrahat matirmai nibadeyam navipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi smritishamad anugrahat matirmai nibadeyam navipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi nishamad anugrahat matirmai nibadeyam navipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi smashnishamad anugrahat matirmai nibadeyam navipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi smritishamad anugrahat mati intelligence my devoted to me nibada engaged yam this na never vipadyata separate karhichit at any time praja living beings sarga at the time of creation nirode also at the time of annihilation api even smriti remembrance cha and mat mine anugrahat by the mercy of translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Purport. Devotional service rendered to the personality of Godhead never goes in vain. Since the personality of Godhead is eternal, intelligence applied in His service or anything done in His relation is also permanent. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that such transcendental service rendered unto the personality of Godhead accumulates birth after birth, and when the devotee is fully matured, the total service counted together makes him eligible to enter into the association of the personality of Godhead. Such accumulation of God's service is never vanquished but increases till fully matured. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladharanda Swami Tinamine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shrunavadi Pashatyade Shatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is very encouraging information, should be at least. Srila Prabhupada indirectly quotes Bhagavad Gita. He gives some, he mentioned, first there's this verse in second chapter, Nehabhrikram Manasasti Pativyayon Navidyate Svalpamapyasa Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bayat. Says, in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So this is the first thing Lord Krishna says in the second chapter. And then there's this discussion in the sixth chapter. And Arjuna is asking a question which is mostly for us. What happens? I come to the Hare Krishna movement. I dedicate my life here. And things don't work out so well. Something happens along the way. You can see many people come to the Hare Krishna movement and many go. It's a reality. Many devotees come, they do some service for some time, enthusiastically, and at some point they disappear, or they become not so active. So Arjuna is asking, what happens with them? You know, I might be one of them. Now I'm here and I'm trying to do something for Krishna, but you know, might happen. So Arjuna says, "O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and does not attain perfection in mysticism? Almighty Hare Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere?" So Arjuna is saying, you know, I gave my youth to the Hare Krishna movement. I didn't enjoy like the other young people. I didn't go to the bars. I didn't run around after women. Didn't have some fun. And I came to the Hare Krishna movement and I didn't get perfect either. So what happens to me? You know, good question, no? Many times devotees have this, they say this, even devotees who stay in the temple for some time, they say, I gave my youth to the Hare Krishna movement, so now what will happen, you know? And Krishna says, first thing he says, don't worry. No, he repeats, no problem. He says, son of Prita, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Says, don't worry. You do the right thing, right things will happen to you. It's a very important principle in the Vedic culture, principle of Dharma, which we as devotees, we are transcendental, but this is karma kanda, but we should learn this principle. You just have to do the right thing. So this is first thing Krishna says. You do the right thing, no problem. And then he says, he also says, okay, I will tell you exactly what happens, which is exactly what Srila Prabhupada says in this purport. It says, the unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So this is first case. You didn't practice you practice something but not too seriously. Why? Well, because you want to enjoy. You have material desires. Why else, why did you go away from the Hare Krishna movement? Because you have material desires. So Krishna says, don't worry, you'll go to heavenly planets, and there's real enjoyment. So you're not losing anything, even from this perspective. You want to enjoy, you sacrifice your life for Krishna, you go to heavenly planets and you enjoy, no problem. Real enjoyment, Here, very little enjoyment. Heavenly planets, big enjoyment, yeah. So, heavenly planets is much better than Croatian seaside. Everyone goes to the Croatian seaside to enjoy. So, heavenly planets is better. Don't worry. So that's first thing Krishna says. You want to enjoy this material world? No problem. We'll give you real enjoyment. So, no problem. And then he says, of course, Krishna doesn't encourage us to go to the heavenly planets. Then he says, if you are a bit more serious, you understood that, these heavenly planets and this going up and down and up and down and up and down. Boring, eventually. No enjoyment. And if you're a bit more serious, you were really trying, but somehow you didn't finish or something happened. Then you can continue. Then you don't go to the heavenly planets. I was just reading, it was interesting, I was reading in this 5th canto, there's a description of the universe, and even in Jambudvip, the planets we are on, they're somehow from material perspective it's worse, The other 8 islands from Jambudvip, they live a lot longer and the enjoyment is much longer and much better. And they are looking at us and say, wow, I wish I could be born here on this, in this Bharatvarsha. They are thinking, okay, I'm here, just enjoy, but I wish I could be born there because this is very auspicious for spiritual life. So, they have this realization. So we should, if you are a bit more intelligent and you have this realization, too much material enjoyment is not what we're actually looking for. Then you can just, no need to go to these heavenly planets and try to enjoy and forget Krishna. Then you can continue. It says, and Srila Prabhupada says, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success of son of Kuru. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. And then at the end, and when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So Krishna gives a complete picture. You come to the Hare Krishna movement, you practice a bit, you can go to the heavenly planets if you really want. And then you come back on this planet or on a planet somewhere where it's very conducive for spiritual life. You get born in association of devotees, or somehow or another you just get attracted. You see a Harinam and you're like, oh yeah, I used to be a Hare Krishna. All right, let's go. You have devotees in Prabhupada's times. There was one devotee. He was the captain of the volleyball team. I don't know, Danavik or something. And he just met someone on the street. He got a book. He read it all night long. In the morning, he went. He gave his equipment. He said, "I'm joining the temple." That's it. Why? Because he did so much devotional service in the past. So whenever he just needed this, this much to of us to say, I wish to be a Hare Krishna. Oh, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. You know? That's it. Automatically you are attracted. So that's how it goes, you know. It's and what's the conclusion of all this? How should we take this information? You know, we can say, yeah, you can relax, take it easy. You know, you do little, you get so much, no problem, no? You come, you eat some prasadam, you get so much benefit. No, I mean, when you know this is the consolation prize, all these heavenly planets, and which is exactly what everyone is looking for. This you get, like, you do eat a little bit of prasadam, you chant some Hare Krishna, no problem. So easy, very easy for a devotee. So when you know this, then you think, wow, okay. But what is the real prize? What is the actual juice? And that's why many preachers actually say, don't worry about next life, this life, that next life. Finish it in this life. That was Prabhupada's mood. He said, in this life you have to go back home, back to Godhead. If this movement has to give so much, then you have to do your best that in this life. And of course, you know, it's not that if you have to continue in the next life, okay, no problem. But you have to know that you did 100% in this life. And next life, we'll see. Next life, if I have to continue and be in the family of devotees and do devotional service to Krishna, no problem. Here, no problem. Prahlad Maharaj says actually that I don't care if I go back to Godhead or here, as long as I can do some devotional service. So, but still we should think that, okay, I have this life and I have this wonderful opportunity and I have to do maximum to go back home, back to Godhead in this life. Jesus Christ was also preaching in this way. He put so much emphasis on this life that, anyway, it's a long story. It's complicated with Christianity. But the point is that he put so much emphasis on this life that people think, oh, there's no next life, there's no reincarnation, there's no... No, he was just emphasizing so much, yes, in this life, you have to do the maximum. Because, who knows when you get this opportunity again? Just bam, bam, up, down, up, down, up, down. We're now here, this civilized country. You can just go on the streets and chant Hare Krishna. It's not everywhere that you can do it like that. So, super offer, wonderful opportunity. Srila Prabhupada finishes his purport to this verse in 2nd chapter, and he quotes this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, if someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Srila Prabhupada says, you do your material duties perfectly, so what's the benefit? Vishnudutas will be like, Vishnudutas come and say, hey, we have a ticket to the spiritual world, are you qualified? Yes, I graduated from high school. They will look like, what? We don't care about your high school. And also I had this nice job and I was very dutiful and I did my duty. We don't care about that. Anything meaningful. Yeah, one morning I was chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, now we're talking. That's something. So, or as the Srila Prabhupada continues, or as the Christians say, what profited a man if he gains the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Losing your soul, of course you cannot lose your soul. You are the soul. But as it's used in also in Upanishad, the killer of the soul. The killer of the soul is not someone who kills the soul, cannot kill the soul, but from metaphorically, someone who is not interested in spiritual life, he's a killer of the soul. That's Srila Prabhupada continues this purpose. He says, material activities and their results end with the body. Whatever you do materially, you build a house, you're at 99%. Next life, you have to start from zero. Again, foundation, again. You go to school, again, they will have to A, B, C, D, E. Again, from zero. Now, this life, you're a PhD. Next life, A. Useless. But working Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness even after the loss of a body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in rich aristocratic family, that will give one future chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. So, at the end of your life, whatever achievements you have, diplomas and every trophies you won, finally managed to get your transfer to Barcelona and you won Champions League. Who cares? Nobody cares about your achievements. But whatever spiritual achievements you have done, that's it. That's still money in the bank. You put in your account, and next life you put more in your account until you have enough into your account to buy yourself a spiritual body. I mean, just joking. So the point is, whatever little thing we do in Krishna consciousness, we get so much, like so much things we get. So this should be an impetus that, okay, I want to dedicate this life to Krishna. Prabhupada also many times said sometimes, you gave so much, you had so many lives in this material world, this life, that life, this, you're doing this, you tried everything. How about this life you dedicate to Krishna? Give one life to Krishna. So, Krishna is doing so much, and we should be very grateful in connection with today's Lord Varahadev's appearance. And after his appearance and killing Hiranyaksha and lifting the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean, the Srila Sutta Goswami says at the end of this lila, he says, what grateful soul is there who would not render his loving service to such a great master as the personality of Godhead? The Lord can be easily pleased by spotless devotees who resort exclusively to him for protection, though the unrighteous men find it difficult to propitiate him. He says, who would be ungrateful when we receive so much? I mean, we would be. I would be. So, but we should at least understand this. So I should be really grateful, As Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, every living entity, especially persons in the human race, must feel grateful for the benedictions offered by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, anyone with a simple heart of gratefulness must be Krishna conscious and offer devotional service to the Lord. Those who are actually thieves and rogues do not recognize or acknowledge the benedictions offered to them by the Supreme Lord, and they cannot render him devotional service. Ungrateful persons are those who do not understand how much benefit they are deriving by the arrangement of the Lord. They enjoy the sunshine, moonshine, and they get water free of charge. Yet they do not feel grateful, but simply go on enjoying these gifts of the Lord. Therefore, they must be called thieves and rogues. Heavy. Prabhupada. So we don't get just water and sunshine, moonshine, and all these resources. We get Krishna consciousness. You know, it's so much. We think, yeah, it's not so much. Get the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. Oh, so what? So we should be aware of what we're getting. We're getting an opportunity for eternal happiness. And we get so much from Srila Prabhupada, actually. And we should do our best to repay our debt. Srila Prabhupada says, you can't. You can't repay your debt. If you think you're ever you did enough to please to repay your debt to Srila Prabhupada, you didn't. So we cannot repay our debt, but we have to try. And how should we repay him? Well, we should do some service. We should do some service for Krishna. It's not that we're doing him as a favor. We are in debt. It's not that sometimes even we as devotees, we have this idea, yeah, you know, I did so much yesterday, you owe me one. Today, if there's no pizza for lunch, then I'm not doing anything. I'm sorry. Oh, Harinam, yeah, we come for Harinam. If there's swimming after Harinam, we do 2 hours of Harinam, 3 hours of swimming, then I come. Otherwise, no. Well, true cases, true stories. So we might also be like that, you know. No. But we should be grateful. We should realize that, whoa, we have this wonderful opportunity to go for Harinam, to do something, to do some service in the temple. You know, we should pay to do service. You know, in the temple we should be like, okay, can I do some service? Maybe if possible, please. I really want to do some service. So. That should be our mood. And the best service, what's the best service? Best service is preaching. This is the open order of Lord Chaitanya. You have to preach. Whoever you meet, you have to try to make him more Krishna conscious somehow. And the impact is amazing. Sometimes we really underestimate, you know. You give people on the street a little prasadam, a little of holy name, some book. Maybe they take some books. I say, yeah, I mean, what's the benefit? Even devotees think, what's the benefit? And we find from here that they can get free from going to hell. Everyone is going to hell. This modern civilization, Srila Prabhupada said they are lined up going to hell. You know, it's like in the airport, you know, you have this big queue and they're all going towards hell. And if they get a bit of prasadam, hear a bit of holy name, they get a book, the next life they don't have to go to hell. So, I mean, if you say this is little, you know, otherwise what can you do? You help him with that, and I don't know, you give him some money that he can buy some vodka and then he goes faster to hell. Or he buys some meat and he goes faster to hell. He spends more time there. No, this really quite some impact. And this is the main service. This is the compassion of Krishna and the great devotees. They look at these people outside and they say, okay, what can we do for them? No, they are going to hell. What can we do for them? Well, okay. That's what I quoted a few times, this Vyasa Puja offering by Srila Prabhupada. I said, yeah, okay, Vyasa Puja with nice offering, flowers. Yeah, okay, we should do that. no problem. Well, how about preaching? This is the real offering, you know. You go, Lomanch, Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Lomanjita Prabhu wanted to offer his guru for his Vyasa Puja, 670 because it says 67th Vyasa Puja, 670 or 69, I don't know. 670 Bhagavad Gitas distributed. This is offering, you know. You come to your guru and this is my offering. I distributed this amount of books for. Wow, okay, you know. There's this festival, Lord Nityananda, you know. Okay, what do you bring? You can bring something, of course. It's good to give some Lakshmi, but what do you bring? You bring some preaching, some, you know. That's the better mood of festivals, you know. That's why in the past we were doing this Harinam Sankirtan tour for Nityananda Trayodashi, for Gaur Purnim, for this. And then you would come, okay, we distributed 1,500 books for, this is our offering to Lord Nityananda. It's something substantial. So this is the mood. And this will be good for everyone. I will just finish by reading this letter, Srila Prabhupada. And this was the mood in the early days, you know. In the early days, the mood was, everyone was thinking, okay, we want to go back home, back to Godhead. And everyone was going out and preaching. They didn't have a preaching department. Because everyone was preaching. They had someone they left one person in the temple to do everything, and everyone would go out and distribute books and do Harinams and this, that, and that's it. That was the mood. Now the mood is, yeah. It's good, Prabhu. So I'll just finish with this letter. Srila Prabhupada wrote to His Holiness Praladananda Swami. He was not sannyas at this point. He says, Srila Prabhupada wrote, of course you know the story, I've heard that you are all going out in Buffalo. This is very good. You should all go out, chant Hare Krishna all around Buffalo, distribute Bhagavad Gita, and preach about Bhagavad Gita as much as possible. The boys and girls in your country are generally good soul. That's why they have taken birth in such a nice country. Just like here in San Francisco, we've had Ratha Yatra and 10,000 boys and girls were dancing and chanting in full transcendental ecstasy. I've heard that in just 2 weeks, in New York, they've distributed 3,000 back to Godheads. And that in Buffalo, you're also doing distributing back to Godhead very nicely. Please continue in this way, and your success in life is assured. This is Prabhupada's assurance. This is, you can say this one letter from Prabhupada to a specific devotee, but this applies for everyone. And she says, as Krishna sees that you are working seriously to bring his other children back to the spiritual kingdom, then he will bestow all of his blessings upon you. Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him, rest assured. So that was the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, you want to please me, you want to repay your debt, you have to try to bring other devotees to Krishna consciousness. And that's the mood. And then Krishna, how does he say? Krishna will bestow all of his blessings upon you. I mean, Prabhupada says, if Prabhupada says, no, that's, Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him, rest assured. So, yeah, we should take advantage of this. And, yeah, I mean, maybe try to get more in that mood of, okay, let's preach. Okay, I will stop here. If there's some questions, concerns, comments. Something. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki